As many of you know, this has actually been a really big quarter for us and my team as we made the decision after 11 great years at Hammond to join the new Gibson Sotheby's office, and we're so excited to be part of the Gibson Sotheby's team and also really excited to be bringing you our first quarterly update from our new office. We're going to take a look at the numbers, and what's interesting from the second quarter is that all three sectors, condos, multis, and singles, are moving pretty differently from each other. So there are three things that I focus on in looking at the market data. One of them is the volume of new listings. Year to date, what is the total number of listings that have come on the market? The second element we look at is, of all of that new inventory, how many have sold? So we'll call that the sold volume. And the third element most people care the most about is price. So how did average prices move? In condos, we'll look at price per square foot, etc. So taking a look at singles, the volume of new listings is pretty steady. The total listed year to date in 2015 so far is 95 units. And if we look at 2014 over the same period, it was 98 units. And now looking at the sold volume, what's interesting about this is we really want to look at both the properties that have sold and the properties that are currently pending. That is, they have an accepted offer, but they haven't yet closed. If we look at those together, the market for single families year to date in 2015 is exactly even with 2014 at 84 units apiece. If you break that down and you look at the properties that have actually sold, 2014 runs way ahead of 2015. In 2014, at this point in the year, they had 52 units sold, and at this point in the year in 2015, we have 44 units sold. If you looked just at the actual closed volume, you would think that we're behind 2014. However, take a look at the pending data, you'll see that we're actually way ahead in the properties that are under agreement but haven't yet closed. In 2014, there were 32 properties under agreement or pending at this time in the year, and this year in 2015, there are 40 units under agreement. So while our year-to-date closed volume is down about 15%, our pending volume is up about 25%, which actually leaves us exactly at the same number of units when we combine the pending and solds together. But how we got there was a little different. So looking at the average sales price, going with the theme of staying steady in the single-family sector, the average sale price for a single-family home year-to-date in 2015 is almost just the same as it was in 2014. It's around $1,440,000 both years. This is the first year we've seen a plateau. If you look back historically at the data for the last 5 years, in 2013, the average sale price at this point in the year was right around $1,350,000. 2012, the average sale price was just under $1.2 million, and in 2011, it was just under $1.1 million. So the fact that we're seeing a plateau from 2014 to 15, I think is good news for buyers. I think the takeaway is that it's pretty steady. We're seeing a similar number of new listings on the market, pretty similar number of sales, and the average price has pretty much plateaued. Now, taking a look at condos, if we look at the overall volume, how many properties have come on the market in the first 2 quarters of 2015, we see that our volume is decreasing. 405 units were listed so far in 2015, and over the same period in 2014, 480 units were listed. That's about a 16% decrease in overall volume. Now, interestingly, even though our overall volume of properties listed has decreased 16%, we've actually seen an almost 6% increase in the number of properties that have been purchased, so those that have either closed or are currently under contract. So far this year, there are 377 units either closed or pending, and over the same period in 2014, there were 357 units either closed or pending. So the takeaway from those two elements, one being the overall volume decreasing and then the overall sold volume increasing, shouldn't surprise anyone that we see the average sale price rising. The average sale price for a condo over the first 2 quarters of 2015 was right around $700,000. Over the same period in 2014, the average sale price for a condo was right around $678,000. So diving a little deeper into the price, I want to take a quick look at the average price per square foot for condominiums, because we actually saw a big jump there. The average price per square foot for condos in 2015 so far is $632 a foot. Looking at the same period in 2014, it was $587 per square foot. That represents about a 7.5% increase. So I have a simple mind, and I love it when things make sense. The condo market over the first 2 quarters of 2015 just makes sense to me. There are fewer listings to choose from. Of those fewer listings, more have sold, and the unremarkable result is that the average sale price is up 3% and the per square foot prices are up 7.5%. So to make things really mixed up, taking a look at the multis market, we actually are looking at a sector where prices have dropped. The volume of total new listings in the multifamily market were up there about 17%. So in 2015, we've had 62 new units listed, and in 2014, there were 53 units listed. You might say, well, that makes sense. We've got more volume of properties that are available. It makes sense that prices have come down a bit. Actually, it makes no sense because when we look at the volume of properties that have actually sold, breaking down the numbers a bit, in 2015, currently we have 32 properties pending, and there are 25 properties, these are all multis, that have actually sold for a total of 57 units. Taking a look at 2014, there were 14 properties pending right now, and 26 had sold for a total of 40 units. At first, when I took a look at the multifamily data for average sale price, I almost fell off my chair because the average sale price in 2014 was $1.6 million. This is for the first 2 quarters, and $1.2 million for 2015. That seemed like way too big a spread, so breaking it down a bit, I looked and saw there's one multifamily sale in 2014 that was really skewing the data. It was an $8 million sale of a 12-unit building. So we throw that one out, and even with that taken out, it's interesting to see that the average sale price for a multi has in fact dropped about 12%, from about $1.36 million in 2014 to about $1.2 million in 2015. So the multifamily market's a little funny. We have more to work with. We have an increased number of listings this year versus 2014. And of those available listings, many more have been sold. So the available inventory is getting gobbled up, but it's so interesting to see that in fact our average sale price is coming down. So this is a sector we want to keep an eye on, see what happens in the next couple quarters. So those are the numbers for the second quarter of 2015. I wish we could give you a more conclusive takeaway. Best we can do is say it's a market in transition, and we're really excited to see what the next couple of quarters bring at the end of this year. For more information, check out my website at laurenholleran.com.